What's up, everybody? This is Andrew with AM Projects, and I'm gonna get right to the point telling you that popcorn ceiling removal sucks. It's absolutely time consuming and it gets everywhere. It is not fun. This video is not created to make you feel like it's not going to be that hard. If anything, I'd like to let you know that it is going to be that hard and probably worse than you could imagine. So to go through the process real quick, basically you spray it down and hope that the water can seep into the ceiling. If it's been painted at all, even one time, the water is not going to seep in that well. And there's my son acting funny. The water doesn't seep in through the paint. It just doesn't. So if you've watched videos and somebody's telling you, hey, all you got to do is spray it down with water and look how well it's soaking in, and you just scrape it all off in one swoop, that is only if it has not been painted. If it has been painted, that does not happen. You might hit some spots that come off better than others, but basically it is like scraping it dry. So after you score it the first time, then it starts coming off a little bit better. And then you can spray it down again and scrape it again, and then spray it down again and scrape it again, and then spray it down some more and scrape it some more. So you're going to want to take a razor knife and kind of score the edges of the room, even if you don't have crown molding. Make a little pass, not too deep, but just so that whenever you're pushing up against the corners like I am here, it won't start pulling the paint off of the walls. So yeah, unfortunately, I mean, this looks brutal and like I don't know what I'm doing, and I'll be the first to admit to you, I don't really know what I'm doing. This was my first attempt at doing this, and I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and I was not gonna go rent some Festool ceiling sander. So I did it by hand. One of the good things about doing it by hand up near the ceiling like this and not with some pole scraper is that you can tell if you're digging into the sheetrock or not, which is important whenever you go to finish and paint, because the spots that you'll have to fix with drywall mud is minimal. I had started scraping that room and it was like it was dry. I had sprayed it, but it was not seeping through. So I went back to this room to get some more done while the other one was soaking. Although when I went back to the other one, it was the same thing. That's whenever I realized some of those spots, you're just gonna have to muscle through it and scrape some of those popcorns off so that the water will seep through. So this is finally, I think I had kind of scored it one time in this room, and now I'm coming back a second time, and now it's finally starting to come off. So I'm just gonna let you know, your wrist, your body, your back, your legs, you're gonna be in pain after this. Unless you're just some freak of nature animal. I mean, I was hurting so bad. My wrist had like tennis elbow, golf elbow, and carpal tunnel all at the same time. It was brutal. So here you can see that little bit of popcorn ceiling is left. That's the spot that's white, so you have to spray it down, and really at that point it starts coming off pretty easy. This is like the last scraping for that room, and once you start to see the bare drywall, you're really gonna want to watch how much water you're putting on it so that the paper doesn't separate from the drywall. I ended up doing 3 rooms and I never came across the paper separating, so don't be scared about it. This is the end product, or towards the end. I didn't repair the little imperfections yet with drywall mud, but honestly it came out really well. I mean, it is a process it makes a big mess, but at the end of it all, you'll be glad you did it, because it really does make a difference whenever you walk into these rooms, especially if you're doing some sort of renovation. You're going to want to take this stuff off. And so instead of floating the whole ceiling like I mentioned earlier, I'm just going around using a hand sander and kind of just brushing over a lot of the spots. That way, any of those little imperfections where the drywall mud was covering the screws, or where the tape of the drywall is, then you can really just focus and smooth them out, and you don't notice any of that once you've painted it. This is now the finished product, and I've floated the walls and painted and refloored and put new baseboards. It really looks great, but the ceilings look phenomenal. And honestly, when you're doing the ceilings, you might see all these imperfections along with, floating walls too, but honestly, at the end of it all, you really don't notice it. I mean, these look amazing to me, and it's completely different. It takes the old age out of the rooms in the house. I'm super pleased with the outcome, even though it was a brutal project. I wouldn't recommend it, but I do like the outcome. Let me know how your projects go in the comments, and do not forget to like and subscribe.